Sastakar to all the listeners. This is Attorney Sharp Raleigh, and we are going to talk about a lot of things on immigration. I'm hoping I will be joined with Sharif, but I have not confirmed yet, but in case he'll join in. But in the meantime, we will be talking, of course, a little bit about issues with immigration, and I have to deal with me, Vedika, and we are December 12th, wow, almost the end of the year, December 12th, 2019, and I am live on air, and this is Attorney Sharp Raleigh for the Sharp Raleigh Law Show, and anything I'm going to tell you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. I hope everybody can hear me well, Vedika, so feel free to call. Okay, I think the voice is a little bit low, so is that okay? I hope now you can hear me properly. But so today we're going to discuss a little bit about U visa, and hopefully with Sharif EB1 and National Trust Waiver. But we're going to talk about U visa, VAWA, family petitions, because I always focus on employment base. So today I'll kind of change a little bit, but you can call on anything immigration, whether it's family petitions, H1B, L1, O1, you name it, labor certification, permanent residence, and all the stuff. Wherever we can help you, I will be glad to help you as much as I can. And again, if you need help or a personal consultation, feel free to reach out our office, 510-742-5887, 510-742-5887. And as I mentioned earlier, and I hope, Vidika, you can still hear me properly. Let me know if in case the voice is getting a little bit low, but I will be glad to speak a little bit louder. So right now I think it's okay. So feel free, you can call the studio line 510-657-1170, 510-657-1170, which is 1170, and feel free to call if you have any questions on immigrations. Let us talk a little bit about U visa, because this is a very actually it's an amazing opportunity sometimes, but many people don't know about it and they have not used it. What is a U visa? U visa are for people who have been victims. I repeat that, not being aggressors, but victims of what we call a criminal activity. And there's a long list of that. Usually it's like one, actually now I think it's like 53, it was 51. For example, abduction, sexual abuse, blackmail, domestic violence, extortion, forced imprisonment, female genital mutilation, felonious assault, fraud in foreign labor, contracting, hostage, incest, involuntary servitude, kidnapping, manslaughter, murder, obstruction of justice, peonage, perjury, prostitution, rape, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, slave trade, stalking, torture, trafficking, witness tampering, and lawful criminal restraint. And there are also other crimes that are in the list, but those we have to kind of assess based on your police report. The way a U visa works, it's called a visa, but it doesn't really work like a visa, because while you have it pending and filed, which now is taking around 5 years to 6 years to get, it keeps you kind of legal here on a deferred action, although you're not really in status. So if you want to be in status, you can maintain a parallel status. For example, you can have an H1B going along with that while this. The good thing with the U visa, once it's approved, then 3 years later, you are eligible to do what we call file your green card. And once you file that, then things are different. So I highly recommend, if you need help on any of those visas, feel free to give us a call, 510-742-5887. And many people, especially people who are out of status, because U visa will also work for someone who's out of status. For example, someone entered on a visa and the visa lapses, or someone entered without a visa or something like that, and they are victims of a criminal activity, they can get that. And many times people are scared. For example, some people working somewhere and they're scared because they were working there unlawfully, unfortunately, and then now they're being they see themselves with someone just basically, for example, is hijacking the place, or someone put a gun on your head, and many people will back off because of that, and they won't really try to do the U visa. You can really check on the U visa on our website, piralilaw.com or attorneyonair.com, and you will get more details. However, the best is to analyze it, and you can call us. It's a two-part process. The first part is to get the certification with the police department or the DA, because you have to have a someone of authority basically signing on that. And once it's signed, then the case goes to the immigration, where we basically do both for you. We will help you get that signature and also file the case with the USCIS. And once it's filed and you get a receipt and we have a good case, you are safe. Even if, let's say, for example, you fall out of status, you cannot really be deported while a U visa is pending, and that's the advantage. However, the U visa doesn't allow you to travel while it's pending, etc. But if you have another visa, for example, a student visa or something like that, you can always rely on those to travel. So it is important that we talk about this, and we were talking about all those crimes. Sometimes people don't realize. Many times they come to my office, they don't even know they have a U visa until I ask the question: have you been mugged? Have you been going to domestic violence? Domestic violence is very common, and felonious assault also is very common for people, especially people who works in stores, etc., etc. And oftentimes you will see them having someone coming in there and try to a hold up, or I don't know how really to put it, but someone pointing a gun at them. And now more and more people are getting really nervous. Even in road rage, you're seeing people taking out their guns. So, by the way, I just wanted to tell people to be careful when they drive, because I have many cases right now where people are being victims of that. So, be careful out there. But if in case this happens, give us a call right away, because a U visa is a very powerful visa. Now, the U visa is also attached to VAWA. What is VAWA? VAWA is a Violence Against Women Act. Actually, they were enacted in 1992, I think, by Joe Biden. He's the one who proposed that rule, and it's been going on for years. It's been renewed pretty much every year. And what VAWA does, it gives you a chance to, if in case you are in a marriage where you're being in an abusive relationship, you have to have three things to get a VAWA. Number one, you have to have a genuine marriage. Number two, you have to have been abused. Abuse can be different ways. It can be verbal. It can be physical. It can be sexual. It can be all of them. And then the third element you have to have good moral character. What VAWA does, VAWA is very powerful too, because it allows you to get the green card. So if you're married, but you have to be married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. Okay, I repeat that. For VAWA, you have to have a U.S. citizen or green card holder. VAWA doesn't require any police report. All it requires is to prove that you've been abused, even mentally. It can work. But for U visa, you have to have a police report. In fact, you have to have the cop sign on it. So it is a little bit different in terms of U visa can be used for people, for example, an H4 visa, for people an F1 visa. But VAWA can be used oftentimes for people who are married to a green card holder or a U.S. citizen. So you need to distinguish the two. Again, feel free to call. Even if your questions are on employment based, feel free to call the number to the studio, 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. I don't know if we have more callers, Vedika, but let me know. So we are discussing about that. I'm hoping to have Sharif discuss. I was hoping to have him today on the show to talk a little bit about EB1, because this is another thing that we are getting a lot of people approve on. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit about the most important part of what we're talking today is those cases of what people don't really know, but which are there. And I have won many cases when it comes to U visas and VAWAs, etc. But of course, you have also regular cases like family petitions, like marriage petitions, etc. And right now, with the way things are going, it's good to have a lawyer to help you on those, because any mistakes will really cost you, and we can really help you with our experience, how to put it together, and basically have a lawyer by your side. The number to our office is 510-742 5887. 510-742-5887. And again, if you have any questions on immigration today, the number to the studio 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. And we are talking of course about immigration law, and this is Attorney Shaparali. We're live today. It's December 12, 2019, and I have Vedika with me on the show. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate we have this kind of support, because otherwise, for me, I'm not the guy in technology and things like that. It's very hard to really kind of come and do a radio show without that. So I think we have one caller. Let me take the caller. This is you're live on air. Hello.
Hi, Shah. I have a question. Recently in India, my friend went for the visit visa, and they asked question, why are you going, and the purpose of the visit, and those kind of questions, and he answered all of them. But somehow they rejected, and he want to come here for a conference in January end. Can he reapply immediately for the second time?
That's a good question. First of all, when it comes to this visitor visa or business visa, it's a gamble always, a 50-50, because it's at their discretion. Depending why he was denied, the answer is yes. If it is on a 214B, which is an immigrant intent, you can keep reapplying. The answer is yes, he can reapply.
Okay, same reason it was.
Okay, so if that's the case, then he can reapply. Go ahead, okay? And then let me know if you need help, okay?
Thank you. Bye.
Good luck to you. Number 2 our 510-742-5887. I think we have one caller. Chapra, you're live on air. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. I have a question regarding this green card. If a person marries his green card holder from India, the green card holder is here, and if the person marries from India, so how much time the spouse will get come to here?
It doesn't take that long now. It's around the same time as a U.S. citizen, because most of those green card holders are current right now. So
like previously it was like 3-4 years previously, so a couple of years
before
ago.
It was 7 years sometimes before. Now it's almost the same time. It's just like maybe 3-4 month difference. So within 1 year, 1.5 year, they will come here.
So it will be within a year?
Usually, if everything clears out, yes. 1 year, 1.5 year, yes.
Yeah, so once the person gets married, so they have to apply. The person who is here, the green card holder, has to petition for the spouse.
They have to. Yeah, they have to petition. And if you need help preparing that, give us a call. We can help you. But yes, you have to file it from here, and then there's a way to file there, but not for green card holders. It has to be filed here. The I-130 gets filed. Once the I-130 gets approved, it goes to the National Visa Center. Then you have to file some more paperwork, and once this is approved, they will call them for an interview. Okay, call her or him for an interview. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck to you, and if you need help, give us a call, 510-742-5887. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have more caller, Vika. Are you alive on air? Hello? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are very good questions. We got questions, one on the visitor visa. I just wanted to mention something here about the visitor visa. A lot of people really kind of are looking for a visitor visa to visit or sometimes to attend conferences. But you have to understand that these visas are not issued usually in terms of sometimes a kind of a discretionary power somehow. You might prove everything. The things that they are really looking at, are you going to go back? So if you can prove, and if they actually look at your paperwork, that's another issue, and you can prove you have ties to your home country. For example, you have properties, you have business, you have a job. It makes your case stronger. So when you go for those interviews, it is good to bring all this. And again, if you get denied on 214B, you can always keep reapplying. But usually I tell people to wait a little bit before applying, because you probably will get another denial if you do it so soon. Unless you have something very urgent, then you can go ahead and do that. One of the options I've seen, if people have some kind of emergency, they have someone here, they will go to a congressperson and see if they can help them. So you can use that too. So these are how it works when it comes to employment-based. I mean, not employment-based, but B1, B2 visa, which are the visitor business visa. Now, I think we have one caller. This is Shop 11. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, go ahead, sir. I'm Shane.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. I have a question. Like, my wife has her H4 until May 2020, and she has approved visa. And right now, I'm filing for my H1 extension and H4 extension. So, like, can she travel when the H4 is on, when it's on extension? Can she travel to India in this Jan Feb and again come back in May? Before the visa expires, and is it possible to do that?
Okay, that's a good question. So basically, you're filing together for her, and you're filing H4 and H4 EAD, right? And her H4 is expiring already, and it's going to be pending when she travels, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the way the rule works, okay, but I'll tell you also what's happening. The rule says if you travel in the middle, that H4 EAD gets canceled. So when you come back, you will come back, and then when you go for stamping, since you don't need the approval from here, you can always go for your stamping, and then when you come back, you can reapply for the EAD. Having said that, I've seen cases where the government doesn't cancel it, but you will never know when they're doing it or not. So if in case you're planning to travel, it's better not to file anything unless her H4 is completely expired. Then you can file it. Otherwise, just go get the H4 stamp, come back here, and of course your H1 has to be approved at that time. Then you go for the H4 stamp, and when you come back, then you apply for the EAD. Okay?
Oh, okay.
But you can travel. If you travel, it will probably get canceled. You'll have to reapply. That's all. Okay.
And she can directly go for stamping, how the new H4 people go.
Oh, yeah.
She can directly go and, okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing with H4. You don't have to have an approval here to go for the stamping. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Good to you. And that's a very interesting question we got here, because a lot of people ask me the same. If I have a pending case of H4 EAD, can I travel? The answer is technically no, because this is supposed to be canceled. If you look at back in time when they started this H4 EAD, they had a frequently asked questions where they clearly mentioned that. Having said that, if you travel, you can always get your stamp of H4 at the U.S. Embassy and come back, and as soon as you come back, you refile for your EAD, or you don't file, you go and do this way, and you come back and file for the EAD. Now, I've seen one case at least where they continue the H4 even that person left. But that's not proper, because they might create issues in the future when they realize they made a mistake. So be careful on that. So just to let people know, this is another issue with the H4 EAD. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I was talking, of course, about family petitions, but at the same time, we are seeing a lot of people really kind of wanting to come to the United States, but they don't realize that unfortunately U.S. doesn't really kind of give a system like Canada. So I'm trying to call Sharif so that we have him on the air to talk a little bit about EBN. So I'll ask Vedika to call him if she can. So if he's available, we'll have him talk a little bit about EB1. But in the meantime, a lot of people ask me questions, especially people from Canada wants to come to US. They think it's the same system. We don't have a point system, by the way. So it's important that you know this, because so it's not that automatic, like you get it on the Canadian system, where if you are this age, you get some point. If you know French, you get this point, etc. No, it doesn't work this way. However, we have two of those also in the U.S., which are self-petitions. These are EB1s and national interest waivers. And I'm hoping if I can get Sharif, we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, I wanted to come talk a little bit about those issues that people face when they're coming to the U.S. The other biggest issue, and I put a video on that yesterday, and you can check our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it, by the way, Shaparali Law. And that channel, I covered a little bit the denials based on a specialty occupation. We are seeing more and more of those denials. We're hoping there will be some reverse, hopefully, soon. But until then, it's going to be something. Now, another thing that just came out is there is a new guidance policy on DUI now. So basically, what has happened, DUI was not a deportable offense. Okay, basically there was a case law from the Supreme Court. I think it was a matter of Leocal, where they cannot be deported. However, having 2 DUIs can actually become a problem. So there are issues that are coming up, and I will put a video on that soon too. So I recommend that we have this. So I think Sharif